Because the word motherfucker is a noun. It describes a person, place, or thing.
It's the motherfucking pod. Crew members, I'm back. The motherfucking podcast is back. Episode 51. You already know what it is, man. Look, I'm repping the 504. Beanie Man, aka Mr. Headquarters. Welcome back, man. I know we was off last week. We had a sports show, but we didn't have a main show. Had to take care of a couple things first, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? We back. We back. I'm riding solo dolo for this one. I haven't did a solo episode in a minute. Come fuck with me for a second, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time. I promise you we'll have a good time. It's an interesting time. It's my favorite time of the year. It's that fall weather. Summer, get the fuck out of here. Got summer the fuck up out of here. I ain't no summer motherfucker. I ain't all into that summer shit. You know, I'm cool with having this cool, nice. It's not like spring, but it's cool. It's fall weather. You know what I'm saying? It's starting to get dark a little earlier, a little bit. It's still warm during the day, but cool at night. You know what I'm saying? I like that shit. Perfect fucking weather. You know what I'm saying? Fucking weather. But yeah, man, it's my favorite time of the year. You know what I'm saying? October leading into the fall months, right before it gets into the winter time. You know what I'm saying? Down here in the 504, we don't really get too much really true fall winter weather, but you know we get little flashes and glimpses of it, so you know you got to appreciate the shit. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. But yeah, man, like I said, man, it's pretty much cuffing season. Cuffing season's coming back. You know what I'm saying? All these thick women, you know what I'm saying, they about to start finding some niggas. You know what I'm saying? The niggas about to start being on the prowl for you know, for the one to hold them down during them cold months. You know how it is. At summertime, all the motherfuckers start acting crazy, boy. You can always tell when it's summertime. You can always tell when it's summertime, boy. The women be acting crazy. Ooh, women be acting crazy. You can tell the women that be in bad relationships, boy. You can tell, boy. You can tell. They running around talking about, my man, I don't need no man, and all that bullshit. You know how women be, man. You know how they be. Wearing the smallest shit they can find out the closet, finding their Fashion Novas and shit, their Temu dresses and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's the new thing now. Temu, Shine and Temu and Fashion Nova. You know, you can look like a thigh on the low. You know what I'm saying? But they have some good shit up in there. I ain't hating. Not too much hate on that. They making money. You know what I'm saying? Got these women out here showing it. Boy, I tell you, they showing it out here. They ain't got no problems. But like I said, man, I'm cool with it though. I'm cool with missing that. I'd rather see women, if women gonna dress up sexy to me, if women gonna dress up sexy to me, I want to see a woman dressed down, you know what I'm saying, in a skirt or a nice dress, you know what I'm saying? Ain't gotta be too tight, but you know what I'm saying, tight enough to show off her figure, but you know, it's classy enough to where niggas ain't calling her a hoe or no bitch, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of not quite summer dress type weather, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, just a little bit clothed up. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's me. I don't need to have a, you know, I don't need to have a half naked woman in front of me to be like, to get me to be like, oh yeah, let me holler at her. And nah, I don't need all that. I don't need all that. I remember, matter of fact, speaking of hollering at women, I remember we had maybe a couple seasons back. I think when we had what's his name? We had CJ, Celebrity Bodyguard, that came on our show. Shout out to CJ. Um, Shout out to his security company he has going on, doing real well, doing real well. Um, but yes, I remember at that episode we talked about the fact that game versus no game, hollering, not hollering. You know what I'm saying? Everything is a game within itself if allow it to be that way. You know what I'm saying? So I'll give you some insight. For my thing is, if I want to approach a woman, you know what I'm saying, I'm not gonna be all super creepy and shit like that. Some niggas that keep I gotta wear her down, keep talking to a woman. I don't do all that shit. I'm not saying I'm not. I ain't saying like I'm some kind of play ass motherfucker, but what I do works for me. You know what I'm saying? So what works for me is I don't over pursue no woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm not over here acting like a thirsty ass motherfucker. I'm not beating down her block and all that shit. Now, when I was in my 20s, that was a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Early in my 20s and shit like that. But for now, if I want to talk to somebody, you know what I'm saying? I'm not all in their face like that. I'm observing the scenery. I gotta peep you out a little bit. I gotta see if I even like you like that. You know what I'm saying? Because nowadays, women, these fucking women, these women crazy these days. Women bold as fuck. They'll come straight up to you. You know what I'm saying? Which ain't a problem with it, but it's a problem with it. I got a problem with it, but I don't got a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need a woman trying to do man moves on me. If a woman's trying to put the moves on me like she a nigga, yeah, I'm probably gonna be out. Cause like, if I know you putting these little games on me, you know what I'm saying? You doing it on anybody else, but I just don't like that role. I ain't trying to be the pursued person, so to speak. I get it. It's hard to explain it from my end, I guess. For me, like I said, I got to peep out perspective. I got to see if I like you like that. Sometimes, if it's somebody I'm dealing with, it's somebody I ain't really just meeting just off a one time occurrence. I think that's the best way to put it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to holler at women that's like straight off the street like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm hollering at women that's more in my everyday type of life type of thing. You know what I'm saying? If I see somebody frequently out in the street, then yeah, I might approach them after seeing them and observing them if I'm interested in enough. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you need to get a second look at that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we don't need to be so quick and so hasty and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes if you can just peep game out from a distance, you can really understand whether or not you really want to fuck with somebody or not. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to always be all up in their grill and all that stuff. And for me, yeah, I'm peeping scenery out. I'm chilling. I'm laying in the cut. You know what I'm saying? I might if I see you more than once out in the say like if I'm going to the store, I got a certain store I like to go to. You know what I'm saying? Like or like if I'm going to the barbershop on my way to and from the barbershop, certain gas station I like to go to. You know what I'm saying? Certain things like that. If I see somebody on a regular like that, then yeah, I might approach. Um, but yeah, I can't I can't see me nowadays at my age now hollering at somebody and being like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? I seen you on the street and you got the woo doo woo based off of just me looking at you that one time. Nah, there's a lot of fine ass bitches out there. There's a lot of fine women. Women. Beautiful, beautiful ladies, y'all out there. Y'all beautiful than ever. You know what I'm saying? But I can't fuck with all y'all. I can't fuck with all y'all. And then vice versa. I'm sure that they would have their reasons or whatever, whatever. But I can't fuck with all these different types of women because they're just too fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't just holler at one random ass chick on the street and be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Let me get your number and all that woo woo. You know what I'm saying? I might do that on occasion unless the energy was there, unless it was like, one on one. Sometimes because sometimes you might vibe out with somebody on accident. That happens sometimes when you might meet somebody out in public, you know what I'm saying, and y'all have a common interest or whatever y'all doing at the time. Say for instance, you might be at the courthouse, you know what I'm saying? And you out there in West Wego or some shit, and you trying to pay your damn uh traffic ticket. And if you live in the 504 area and you had to pass through West Wego enough, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. You didn't had to be up in West Wego courthouse, Gretna courthouse, um, somewhere on the West Bank. You had to go over there for some kind of reason. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to be up in there chilling. I ain't saying chilling, but you had to go up in there who take care of a bill that the city Gretna, Westwego, or JP trying to throw on you traffic wise, right? So say for instance, you trying to handle that. And you might see somebody that you might see randomly coming by, and y'all both in debt to the police. I'm like, man, yeah, y'all might be able to relate on some shit. You know what I'm saying? You never know. People vibe on the weirdest shit. I mean, I remember when I was younger, I vibed out with a chick, because I used to just go to the same store all the time, and I would see her as a cashier. I'll see her as a cashier all the time, and we kept. I just so happened that I would kept being in her line around the same time I was getting off work, same time she was at work. You know what I'm saying? And every now and then, we would always have a good vibe and a good conversation. You know what I'm saying? And then I ended up hollering at her. You know what I'm saying? I ended up getting a number and all that stuff. And we had to, we communicated and, had like a little relationship for a couple years. But the reason why we communicated and we were able to have a good connection is because we always kept seeing each other. And a common thing of she was doing what she had to do, she was in her common area and I'm in my common element. I'm just rolling through. You know what I'm saying? In that common perspective of me rolling through being a customer, uh, she being uh a clerk, you know what I'm saying, at the store. You know what I'm saying? She's serving me and I'm always up in there. And the same thing, we always seeing each other, we shooting small talk, and then boom, there you go. You getting some digits. It ain't hard. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is people don't have to sweat these type of relationships. I see people all the time like, man, I want to be in a relationship. I want to be in a relationship. You don't have to be in a relationship, man. Sometimes you just need to chill out and relax your mind. Sometimes you just need to fall back and like it's kind of cliche now, but you kind of really do have to focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. You know what I'm saying? But I digress. I'm way off. I'm way off from what I was talking about. But yeah, I mean, finding those type of common grounds to find people in just your everyday type of situations. You know what I'm saying? I have women ask me before, like, oh man, how do I find a good dude and all this stuff and that? Or how do I, be in situations to be around uh men? You know what I'm saying? Like women have asked me that before. And a lot of times, for some reason, women think about the most cliche shit to meet somebody, like meet somebody at church or meeting somebody at the club or the bar. Shit like that ain't gonna always work. You know what I'm saying? Or meet somebody at the club. Like, fuck that. I ain't trying to, if I meet somebody at the club, I ain't trying to have nothing long term with that. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. And I think most men is like that. If you meet something that from the club, most likely that shit ain't gonna happen. That shit ain't gonna last long time. More than likely. Um, Same thing with social media apps, dating apps and shit like that. Like, I can't believe people actually really be thinking they gonna find love on social media apps. Particularly like something like Tinder. Like, why would you be on Tinder looking for something long term? That don't make sense to me. But I mean, like I said, I digress. You can't, women, ladies. I'm talking to y'all for a second. Ladies, don't be looking for the real relationships on these social media dating apps. More than likely, 9 times out of 10, the shit ain't gonna work. It just ain't gonna happen. Just being real. Now there is that rarity where sometimes, shit happens and people might, align and all that good stuff, and you might catch a rare person on there, and y'all really had that good connection, and y'all have a long-term relationship. That might happen. That might happen, but that is the rarity. That is not the normal occurrence. Trust me. So what I think is, like I said, focus on yourself. And most likely, a lot of times, you're gonna find somebody to deal with that's in your normal everyday type of thing that you're doing in your life, whether it's going to the store, or it's going to certain service shops, going to, or you going to the park, going to the lake, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, you might be going to festivals that you go to all the time, you know what I'm saying? Just doing your everyday life shit. Stop worrying about trying to find a partner and then you'll actually find a partner. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people find the best partners when they ain't even looking. So that's my 2 cents on that shit. Now, one thing I can speak on is places that you should definitely not try to find anything long term. Definitely do not try to look for anything long term when it comes to dealing with people at work. Don't do that shit. Don't fucking do it. Dealing with somebody at work can have so many bad implications. And I'm not even joking, man. Like, this shit is, look, it could be the best / worst thing in the world. Like I'm saying, telling you. Like, say for instance, you know, we always hear about people messing around at work and shit like that. And that shit happens. That shit happens in all different professions. I mean, look, not too long ago when we had this, remember that white lady in the middle, I think it was Kentucky or some shit. I can't remember what it was, but the white lady police officer, when she was getting banged the fuck out by the entire fucking squad and shit, you know what I'm saying? So like, shit like that happens on the job. A lot of jobs. A lot of jobs. People fuck their co-workers. It's a thing. It happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if we're gonna be real, we keep it 100 here. It shit happens a lot more frequent than you think. And if you worked at a job, you know what I'm saying, and you've seen your coworkers, you know, and shit, you might even been lived it yourself. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes people fuck around with their coworkers, and sometimes that is the worst thing to happen, especially if you get caught doing it. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna end not in the worst, not in the best light. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times it's hard to figure out a situation when you're dealing with somebody as a coworker and you smashing. You know what I'm saying? You can't be smashing the HR chick, you know what I'm saying, and think nothing gonna bad happen to you after you didn't, you know, smash and dash her. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It might be a little sketchy for you. You know what I'm saying? So both fellas and ladies, relax on that shit. I mean, particularly like thinking about being in the military. Oh, woo. You don't want to talk about that one. You don't want to talk about that one. The messing around in the military. Ooh, woo. That shit is a thing. That shit is a thing, especially when you be gone on long periods of time. Man, man, I be feeling sorry. I feel sorry for the newly couples that get together in the military, fresh, they young, fresh out of high school or fresh out of college or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're brand new, fresh in the military. You know what I'm saying? After you went to basic training and tech school or MOS school or whatever fuck branch you in. You know what I'm saying? And after you then went through that little, you know, that situation where you got married for whatever reason, right? You got married for whatever reason, and now you married in the military. So many things gonna happen here. So many things can happen. Say, for instance, if you the spouse, if you the spouse of someone that's in the military, you talk about look, being in relationships is all about the options that you have available to you and whether or not you have the willpower to say yes or no. It really boils down to that. Everybody has a breaking point of some sort. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like with money. You know what I'm saying? Same thing comes down with dick and pussy. It's the same shit. Same shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, pay attention to your partner. Pay attention to the ones that be like, oh well, you know, I wouldn't cheat on them unless it was such and such XYZ. If it was a famous person, man. All right. What they pretty much telling you is there's a potential chance I would cheat on you if it was the right situation. If it was the right situation, I'm definitely cheating on your ass. Now you can look at it in two different ways, right? You can say, hey, all right, at least they upfront with me. They telling me in so many different ways that, hey, I better watch your ass. Or you can be like, no, they just playing, man. They ain't gonna ever be in no situation like that. They ain't gonna, my girl ain't gonna meet no Drake. They ain't gonna meet no no Tank type nigga, no Usher type nigga. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But trust me, trust me, trust me. Watch your partner. Same thing goes with the ladies. You know what I'm saying? Ladies just say ladies ain't shit. Us niggas ain't shit neither. Shit. It all comes down to opportunity and whether or not you have the willpower to say no. And whether your game and your relationship is strong enough. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing people don't talk about. People don't talk about how good their game is with their relationship, how strong your relationship is. Can your relationship stand you and your old lady, y'all beefed out. Y'all beefed out. Y'all ain't touch each other in weeks, maybe even a month, 2 months. And somebody comes sliding through. You know what I'm saying? They chilling at whatever. They meet up at the library or some shit. Just saying. Is your partner gonna be solid? Or they gonna pass on? It depends on what type of person you got, and the type. It depends on the type of person that's rolling up too. I'm telling you, man, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. But look, at the same time, you can't think about that shit neither. I'm saying you gotta be. At the same time, you just gotta be cognizant of your partner. You know the type of partner you got. Ladies, you know what kind of man you got. You know if your man is a freaky ass nigga and he ain't getting no ass in a couple of weeks, you know what I'm saying? He gonna be looking around. Fellas, we know our women. We know if our women freaky as shit, we ain't putting that sledgehammer down in her. You know what I'm saying? Her ass gonna be wandering. Her ass gonna be wandering. Know your partner. You better know your motherfucking partner. Y'all better be understanding. Y'all better pay attention to your people. The one that you lay your head with, the one you say that you love, you better be watching. You better understand. Don't be half-assing. Because I guarantee you, somebody out there is watching y'all from afar, thinking, damn, how can I get in that? Whether it's the man or a woman. Damn, how can I break that shit up? Damn, how can I fit myself into that equation and move that person out? They got motherfuckers out there like that. But I digress, man. Look, we talking about relationships, right? Relationships in the workplace, relationships in the military. Relationships in the military is funny because um it's a job, but it's also a place where you really can't, you got to really do a lot of bad things for you to not, let me say, you gotta value relationships. In military, your relationships with others is important. So at the same time, if you if say for instance you're a young person in the military and you're single and you trying to advance, you're trying to make your way up to the top. The relationships, the personal relationships that you make and the sexual relationships that you make can really fuck you over. I've seen where some people be fucking everything in sight. Don't matter if they're lower enlisted, higher enlisted, don't matter if they're chief, enlisted, officer, don't matter. They knocking them down. You know what I'm saying? But you got to remember at this end of the time, at the same spectrum, if you want to get ahead, you got to stop fucking certain people. One thing that you want to learn, one thing that I've always learned is people are always watching. People love that shit, man. They always watching to see where you at. If you, I guarantee you, you work at a job and you start messing around with another person at work and see how the gossip starts at work. See how the gossip starts. Don't even talk about if it's a forbidden relationship too, knowing that somebody's married or something like that, which is Hey, I ain't condoning that shit, but that means that shit happens. But if that shit happens, trust me, you better keep that shit under wraps. Probably shouldn't be doing that shit in the first place, but I'm just saying, protect your shit. Protect your shit. Protect your shit. But man, relationships is tricky. I remember at one job I was asked this one question by this couple of older women. Maybe a couple of years older than me, maybe 5 to 10 years older. And this one lady asked, why do men have a problem? Why do men get mad when they women get attention from other men? And I had to sit back and I'm like, at first, on my first thought of it, I was like, come on, like this is so easy. But then I thought about it. I thought about it. I'm like looking at it from a man perspective. Women think that we got it all. You know what I'm saying? At least that's how I think. For most women, thinks that us men got it easy compared to them, and a lot of situations it be both the same. You know what I'm saying? Women want to trust me, fellas. If your girl is denying you something, such as like sex or something like that, there's the issue. You can use your job to figure that shit out. I'm not saying it might be somebody else, but it better figure that shit out. But like I was saying, some women, say for instance, uh, would ask this question: why do men get mad when they women get attention from other men? And it's quite easy. I told them just like this. I said, look, women are gatekeepers, and men are the key holders to those gates. Now, there's only so many locks to one gate. You feel me? Now, if there's multiple keys to one lock or this said gate, if there's multiple keys to this one gate, what's the point of having a lock on it? Might as well have it as a free open gate, right? Same thing goes if, say, for instance, if it's like a club. We talk about the pussy as a club all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just keep it real. A club is popping based off of what? A club is popping based off word of mouth, who's popular attending it. Sometimes, depending on how much the price, but usually if a club's popping up, it don't matter how much they charging people to get in. People gonna get in that motherfucker. You feel me? But people love the fact of exclusivity. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, and this is how us men think, and I don't think a lot of times women think like this, but if you allow so many people into something, so many people just constantly just running in, running in, running in, running in. Everybody up in here is no longer exclusive. It's not the select few. The value of it is down. You can say the same thing goes for men too, but it's more so for women because women hold all the keys. I mean, holds all the tools to say, hey, you can get in, you can't get in. You can just change the lock. You don't like the key, change the lock. Men are the key holders, but women are the gatekeepers. If the gatekeepers keep letting everybody in, the club is no longer exclusive. Period. And I think women don't understand that from their perspective. Women hold the key to that. Now, men hold the now when it comes to gatekeeping on the other spectrum, men gatekeep marriage. Men gatekeep marriage. And a lot of times, it's something more that a woman wants than a man, especially in America. Women want to be married before a certain age. They want to have kids before a certain age, before they're, the biological is up. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it's kind of like that give and take kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? You got women are the gatekeepers to the pussy. Men are gatekeepers to marriage. When you look at it like that, it makes it even more simple than ever, in my opinion. But I think I like this kind of conversation. Let me know what y'all think, man. Let me know what y'all think about this. What can y'all find? What's the best place to hook up with people? You know what I'm saying? Is it online? If you're not online, what's your favorite places, man? Tell me what's your favorite places. If it is online, tell me what's the apps y'all like to choose. What different type of places y'all like to choose to find to hook up with people or to date people and stuff like that. On top of that, let me know what y'all think about the dating game, man. Is women gatekeeping pussy? You know what I'm saying? Or is it men? You know what I'm saying? Do men play a different role with that? And then also on the other end, is men gatekeeping marriage? If not, tell me what y'all think on that too. That's all the time we got for this episode, man. Um, it's a short episode. It's just me. I just up in here. I was thinking about a couple things. I had to spitball this shit. You know what I'm saying? Get this out there. Episode 51. You know what I'm saying? Be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for other podcasts that we're gonna be supporting and having our back as well. Shout out to the Jock Johnson podcast. Shout out to So-Called Friends podcast. Shout out to Too Much Game podcast. Shout out to so many other podcasts. My bad if I'm forgetting your name right now, man. But look, shout out to all these different podcasts out there. That's also been saluting and been in support of us through these 3 years that we've been doing this podcast. So shout out to that. Shout out to also to the main show, this show here, and also our sports show that you can also catch exclusively on YouTube. So make sure y'all check us out. Google us, hashtag us, the MFNPOD, the MFNPOD, THEMFNPOD. With that being said, man, you know how it is when I end this motherfucker. Respect. Respect is like a VI pass of credibility. That type of love is earned. Staying true to who you really are and recognizing your hustle and grind. It's the secret sauce and seasoning that nobody can duplicate. Show love. Keep it real. And always, always stay true to your motherfucking self. You already know what it is. With that being said, I'm Mr. Headquarters, a.k.a. Beanie Man, straight out the 504 here in the HQ. You already know what it is. It's the motherfucking pod.